preeminent scientist of our time. With his book, The Selfish Gene, with his many other books on science, he transformed the world, and then he chose, at a next stage in his life, with the book, The God Delusion, to do something that will transform human society for the better for generations to come. If he can do that, when he could stay back in Britain, you must organize every single day. Let us now thank Richard Dawkins, and let me thank you for all that you're doing. Let's organize together.
Thank you. Sean Faircloth, everybody. Thank you. God, I love watching him speak, and listening to him is awesome. It's an experience. Okay, so it's a great day today. It didn't rain. You know, you'd think if we were such bad people, we'd be struck with lightning out here, but I don't see any thunderclouds yet. So we're going to end a little early today, but we're not done yet. We got a big dog coming up. So, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's getting a little warm. Are you guys feeling all right? Good, good, good. This is a nice setting. It's a big, beautiful building. And I think that when I started planning this about a year ago, and I was thinking of all the people who I wanted to have up here, and Richard Dawkins was kind of on my list, but we didn't really know what was going to happen because he's so busy. And I just thought it would be such a coup to get him up here on the steps of the Texas State Capitol. It would be just so awesome. So I want to introduce him a little bit. A lot of you guys know, obviously, who he is and what he's done. He's the former Charles Simonyi Professor of Public Understanding of Science at Oxford University, a position he held from 1995 to 2008. The Wall Street Journal said his passion is supported by awe-inspiring literary craftsmanship, which I agree. And if you guys have read his books, know that he's awesome. The New York Times Book Review has hailed him as the writer who understands the issues so clearly that he forces his reader to understand them too. I mean, he writes books that even a guy like me can understand. So, and if I can understand it, I know anybody can. Among his books are The Ancestor's Tale, The Selfish Gene, The Blind Watchmaker, Climbing Mount Improbable, Unweaving the Rainbow, A Devil's Chaplain, The God Delusion, and The Greatest Show on Earth. And of course, how many of you guys have his latest? Right? Yeah, you got it? Good, good. It is it's just beyond pleasure. I can't even tell you that Professor Richard Dawkins, come on up, and he's going to address you. This is awesome. Thank you guys for showing up, and he now has the mic.
Thank you very much. I first have to apologize that our Executive Director, Dr. Elizabeth Cornwell, is unwell and is unable to speak. She was to have spoken at this moment. I also want to mention that lying in a Birmingham hospital in England at the moment is Malala Yousafzai from Pakistan, who was shot by the Taliban for the crime of wanting girls to have an education. There's a petition afoot to get Malala the Nobel Peace Prize. And I urge you to go to the website. Well, you'll find the reference on richarddawkins.net. Go there and please sign the petition to get Malala the Nobel Peace Prize. I think of it as kicking the Taliban in their nasty little balls. On October the 9th of this year, Pew released a new poll showing that the nuns have climbed from 15% of the US population 5 years ago. They're now at 20%. That's 1 in 5. When I say nuns, you understand that's spelled N-O-N-E, not N-U-N. I had a friend who was in hospital once, and a nurse came to take her details down, sat on her bed with a form ticking things off and said religion, and my friend said none. And then later she overheard a couple of the nurses gossiping about her, and one of the nurses said to the other, "She doesn't look like a nun." So the nuns in this country, the NONEs in this country, have climbed to 20%, and it's 30% if you look at those between the ages of 18 and 29. Things are going in the right direction. Demographically, they're going in the right direction. Yet, although we are becoming, although you are becoming, I should say, because I'm not a US citizen, although you are becoming a real force to be reckoned with, there's no sign that politicians have actually woken up to that fact. And what you need to do, what we need to do, is to let politicians know that we are a major force in this country, cannot be ignored. The US Constitution states that no religious test